Hello, hello. Where is my thing? There it is. So, before I get into any personal updates in terms of like my anxiety, my life, whatever, I am going to go over what we learned in the last 2 weeks of DBT. Um, as I said, I missed 3 weeks ago, I believe it was, because it was just like a morning from hell. I had not slept the night before and the roads were really bad. So I missed the first part of radical acceptance. So we're still in distress tolerance. I believe next week is our last week of distress tolerance before we move back to mindfulness and then interpersonal effectiveness, which is my last module. So after this module, I will have completed 3 of the 4 modules. So what I'm going to go over, and again, this is all part of radical acceptance, which again, I did miss the actual radical acceptance lesson, but basically radical acceptance means accepting something all the way, completely and totally, accepting in your mind, your heart, and your body. It's when you stop fighting reality, stop throwing tantrums. It's kind of rude that they put that in there, because reality is not the way you want it, and let go of bitterness. So what has to be accepted? Reality is as it is. The facts about the past and the present are the facts, even if you don't like them. Hey, Morrison. It's weird. It says nobody's in here. Everything has a cause, including events and situations that cause you pain and suffering. There are limitations on the future for everyone, and life can be worth living even with painful events in it. What do you mean? Oh, accept you? Yeah. Radically accept you. So within the idea of radical acceptance, last week, as in not 2 days ago, but the Monday before, we learned about turning the mind, willingness, half smiling, and willing hands. Now, they have explained to us countless times in DBT, you are not going to jive with every skill. Every skill is not going to work for you. You pick and choose what works for you. Now, some of these skills are a little strange to me, and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and trying them. But some of them I will explain why. And I'm just going to go over this really briefly because I saw my primary today about my anxiety and I want to get into that. So basically turning the mind is like facing a fork in the road. You have to turn your mind toward acceptance and away from rejecting that reality. So turning the mind is choosing to accept. The choice to accept doesn't equal acceptance. It just puts you on the path. So basically, you observe that you're not accepting. You're looking for anger, bitterness, annoyance, blah, 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 and avoiding emotions. Why me? Why is this happening? Go within yourself and make an inner commitment to accept reality as it is. Do it again over and over and develop a plan for catching yourself in the future when you drift out of acceptance. Now, to me, this sounds exactly the same as radical acceptance. I mean, it's part of radical acceptance, but it sounds pretty much exactly the same to me. So I'm still a little bit confused on how exactly they differ. So willingness is the opposite of willfulness. So basically, they want us to recognize when we're being willful and instead be willing. So willfulness is refusing to tolerate the moment. Willfulness is refusing to make changes that are needed. Willfulness is giving up. Willfulness is the opposite of doing what works. Willfulness is trying to fix every situation, being in control, and attachment to me, what I want right now. So that's willfulness. Half smiling and willing hands kind of go together. So basically, I was doing this whole thing wrong. Half smiling is basically when you relax every single muscle in your face. Now, a lot of people won't even think that you're smiling, but you relax every muscle from the top of your head down to your chin and jaw, let go of each muscle. And then you just kind of let both corners of your lips go slightly up just so you can feel them. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean anyone else is going to see them. That's a half smile. I was going around doing like my OCD checks, like with this big, like ridiculous smile. And they're like, no. If your face is tense, that doesn't work. It has to just be a completely relaxed face. And then with willing hands, essentially, I don't know, it's kind of weird to me, but if you're standing, you would drop your arms down from your shoulders, keep them straight or bent slightly at the elbow with hands unclenched. Turn your hands up outward with thumbs out to your sides, palms up and fingers relaxed. Remember, your hands communicate to your brain, your body connects to your mind, and your face communicates to your brain, your body connects to your mind. Tis what it is. So this last week, hey, Rev Rashim, happy holidays. Kimmy looks so lovely. Thank you. Willfulness, it is very similar. I would say stubborn would be a pretty good synonym of willfulness. Yes. So this last week was mindfulness of current thoughts. So this is really where, I'm also confused as to why this is in distress tolerance rather than mindfulness, but I guess they all kind of go hand in hand. Basically, they want you to observe your thoughts. Don't suppress them. Don't judge them. They are what they are. You don't analyze them. You practice willingness. You step back and you observe. They want us to adopt a curious mind, ask, where do these thoughts come from? So one of the activities they had us do was they had us write down our main, like whatever thought in the moment we were fixated on. And for me, it was the safety anxiety. And after we wrote it down, he said, now, I want you, we're all the patients in the class right now are girls. So he said, I want you to imagine yourselves as little girls. And how would you talk to what would you say to a little girl or the little girl you, if they came to you with this fear? And that, I'm not a tearful person. And I got I teared up actually when he said that. And then he's like, and now how do you think that these current obsessive thoughts that you're having, how do they kind of relate back to your childhood? And I was like, I wasn't scared of the same stuff when I was a kid, but then it dawned on me, no, I wasn't afraid of fire or explosions or whatever else, but I have always been I've always felt unsafe. And I had more of a reason to feel unsafe when I was a child than I do now. Now it's more like perceived stuff that probably will never come to fruition, but it made a lot of sense. So, radical acceptance looks good. They say that is the hardest skill out of all of DBT is radical acceptance. And I'm not there yet. So remember, you are not your thoughts. Do not necessarily act on thoughts. Remember times when you have had very different thoughts. Remind yourself that catastrophic thinking is emotion mind. It's not wise mind. But so here's where I got confused. So they did this whole section on don't block or suppress thoughts. Ask what sensations are these thoughts trying to avoid? Turn your mind to the sensation, then come back to the thought, repeat several times. Play with your thoughts, repeat them out loud over and over as fast as you can. Sing them, imagine the thoughts, speak in an accent. That's the skill, one of the things on the homework. And I was like, I don't like that because I tried to do it. And I was like, I felt like I'm making fun of myself. And I can make fun of myself with the best of them. But to me, that I just didn't like that particular one. But I asked in class, I said, you're telling us here not to block or suppress thoughts. But one of the other skills that we just learned a few weeks ago was pushing away and distracting. So when do we do which? And it was the student this week teaching a class, and the psychologist looked over at him and smiled at yeah, what's your answer to that? And to be honest, I don't understand his answer. He was like, yeah, it's confusing, right? Because we tell you to do this one thing and then we tell you to do something the opposite. I was like, yeah, he said, just wait till next week. So I do see next week, it tells us there's a whole chart, like one of those yes, no charts where it shows you, depending on the situation, which skill to use. So next week will be the last bit of distress tolerance. And then again, we'll have our 1 week of mindfulness, and then on to my last module of interpersonal effectiveness. Well, I tried, Morrison. I did. I was going around, I was supposed to say my fear. So I was going around going, I'm scared my apartment's going to catch on fire. My cats are going to burn to death. And I was like, I mean, I already know how ridiculous my fear is. I don't need to make fun of myself for it. I don't know, whatever. So anyway, I am week 5 on Boost Bar. Hey, Joe Schmo. Adulting is such hard work. I know, right? I had a week and a half period, something along there in the last 5 weeks where I really felt like the Boost Bar was working. I felt like my anxiety came down to a level where I could then use my skills, but that didn't last very long. So I'm not sure if it was placebo effect or what it was, but I don't feel as though the Boost Bar is doing anything. I still feel it when I first take it, which I've heard is very common. Like it's 20 to 30 minutes after I take it, I get this very like spacey, lightheaded, almost brain zappy, but not quite feeling. And it doesn't last maybe 15 minutes or so. And then it goes away. So I saw my primary today and he said, okay, obviously we need to increase because you're on the lowest dose. He said, would you rather do 15 milligrams twice a day or would you rather do 10 milligrams 3 times a day? And I said 10 3 times a day because I have absorption issues since my gastric bypass and meds don't like absorb very well for me. So today I started, I increased from 20 milligrams a day to 30 milligrams a day. I still have another dose to take later. So we'll see. So the max recommended daily dose of Boost Bar is 60 milligrams. So right now I'm on 30 and my primary is like, I'm not raising you any more than this. I'm a primary care provider, not a psychologist or not a psychologist, psychiatrist or a psych NP. He goes, if this does not work or you need a higher dose, you have to go to psych. He goes, this is like primary care providers should be doing like basic management of depression and anxiety with basic SSRIs and SNRIs. And once it gets to that realm where, doses need to be adjusted too high or, he just feels that it would be better for me to see a I don't remember if it was a psychiatrist or a psychiatric nurse practitioner, but he had someone in mind for me if it comes to that. He mentioned again, I think if you treat your ADHD, your anxiety will get better. And I said, okay, well, again, we don't even know if I have that. And he talked to me about benzos and I said, excuse me, because he is very, very well aware. First of all, I'm not taking benzos, but he is very well aware of my addiction history. He knows it. He knows as much as you guys do. So everything pretty much. And he was like, yeah, but he's like, you've had benzos. You've been prescribed benzos. You've never abused them. They've never been a problem for you. I said, yeah, I know. He goes, you also know why you became addicted to pain pills to suppress the anxiety and the OCD and all of that stuff. Now, I want to say he was never going to prescribe me benzos. He was just talking about things that the psychiatrist may bring up. He absolutely would not do that. But he was like, sometimes it helps a lot of people to have them just in case they need them. And I said, yes, but my anxiety is so bad right now that I need something every day. And that something is not going to be a benzo. I said, I have seen what my mother goes through on a daily basis since coming off of benzos. And it's been years since she's been off. I'm not doing it. I'm not worried about the addiction aspect. There's not one thought in my mind that I would become addicted to them. But I also, as much as I have an issue with psych meds for my own reasons, SSRIs and SNRIs and atypicals and serotonin modulators, they can cause some degree of neurogenesis. They don't teach your brain to maladapt. Benzos teach your brain to maladapt. They don't repair anything. If you are on them long-term, they will make your anxiety worse. That's end of the day. That's how they work. So maybe not while you're on them, not until, necessarily not until after you get off of them, but I'm not doing that. So anyway, it was just brought up to me and I was like, no, I appreciate, that we're having this conversation, but no. So I'm just trying to stay positive that, this increase in Boost Bar will be effective for me. I kind of was a little bit like, really? Like I was a little surprised that he wouldn't be willing to raise it anymore because again, like the max daily dose is 60 milligrams. So I completely understand his point. It's just, it can be really hard to get in with psychiatric providers, especially ones that take insurance. So I'm hoping this works. He wants me to give this a good 3 months on this dose. I don't see him again for 5 months, but he said, obviously any issues, call him. But he wants me to give it a good 3 months before making any decisions. I just got home, so my cat's like, they're craving some attention. So, so many letters to remember. Wait, which letters? It's a good nurse practitioner. He is a really good nurse practitioner. I love him. I really do. He's the one who's, tapering me off my thyroid meds because he's like, they're so overprescribed. Like it could have resolved on its own, and so I did have my thyroid blood work done today. I'm surprised, actually, let me check now, that I haven't gotten the results back yet. So if the results come back normal, I will be decreasing again from right now. I'm doing 75. Now I started on 100 mics a day. Then I went to 188 every other day. Then I went to 88 every day. Then 88, 75 every day. Now I'm on 75. So if my blood work comes back good, then I will go to 75, 50, which is, I kind of feel like a bigger jump. Are my results not in yet? Wait, is today December? Hey, they ran more than all right, let's check. They ran more than I don't want you to see the reflection in my glasses, more than my thyroid. Excuse you, you better not be chewing on a cord. All right, my T4, normal, but barely. That's a little, barely. Like I don't know. The reference rate range is 0.92 to 1.68, minus 1.66. So still normal. My TSH, normal. Did we not do he didn't do my T3. Oh my God. And he checked all this other stuff that I didn't know he was checking today. All normal. Why didn't he do my T3? CBC. Oh my God. What the hell is that high? Must have some kind of like little underlying infection or something. All right. Can you please stop chewing shit? All right. I'm really confused. I'm going to have to text him because he didn't check my T3. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it's not back yet. I'm going to wait till tomorrow, but as of right now, everything looks good. Sorry, this cat. Holy shit. You just taught me so much in that 5-minute monologue. I have never understood the pharmas before. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any kind of I don't have the ability to prescribe medication. I don't have the ability to counsel people on medication. I'm just speaking from like my own personal experience and what I've learned just from my own experience and people around me. I'm Morrison's is a brilliant nurse. I'm not a nurse. I probably should be, but I'm not a nurse. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt. It just comes from my own research and, things like that. So anyway, that is the update with that. I am excited about Christmas. I'm glad to have that as a distraction. I'm actually all done Christmas shopping with the exception of I just need to get some lottery tickets for my dad and my stepdad next week. But other than that, I'm completely done. I was so upset because I ordered my sister. So my sister did not really give me a list. I got her 2 of those like Sephora favorite sets. One's actually really cool because it's like a big sample set of designer perfume. So there's like Prada, I think there's Chanel in there. There's I forget all the perfumes, but there's a lot of perfumes in there, and it gives you all these little samples, and then it gives you a voucher, and whichever one's your favorite, you can take to Sephora with the voucher and get a full-size bottle. And then I got her the Sephora favorites lipstick kit. And then so her and I have very similar taste in books. We're both book nerds. And so I wanted to special order her some sweatshirts on Etsy, and Etsy is the place to go for all of that stuff. So I wanted to get her like a Wicked sweatshirt. And why didn't I just go to this store that we have where I got this? The problem is, so there's the Defying Gravity one, and then there's the No One Mourns a Wicked. I have them both, and I think those are the only ones. Oh, I know why I didn't go, because they didn't have any in stock. That's why I didn't go. I checked online and they wouldn't be here till after Christmas. So I went on Etsy and I got her a Wicked, like a Shiz University sweatshirt. And then I got her a personalized sweatshirt that's got like her 3 cats' names in each of their like sets of ears. It's super cute. But I asked her like what size, because I know what size she wears, but I know she also she likes things really oversized. And she's like, well, I wear a size large, but I want extra large because I like them really baggy. And I was like, yeah, but what if it's unisex? And she said, I still want XL. I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So I ordered both of the sweatshirts in XL, and they came very quickly. And now again, like these are all custom made, because you choose the color of your sweatshirt, you choose the font, you choose they're all custom made. So I get them and they're huge. They're huge. I was like, I feel like my dad, which doesn't mean anything to you guys. My dad's huge. He's like he's a very, very big guy. I feel like he could wear them. And so I was so upset, and I emailed the seller and I was like, I know this is not your fault. And like, I know that they're custom made, but do I have any options here? Because like, I even felt like, I know unisex means man or woman, but I felt like it was even bigger I felt like it was like a 2 or 3X. Like they were very, very big. And they're like, no, unfortunately, they're custom made. Like there's nothing we can do. Sorry for you. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm flipping out about it. And I ended up like, I tried one on, I put it on over my sweatshirt, and now like, so I wear a medium, but honestly, they weren't horrible. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give them to her because she just wears them around the house. Like they're not things that she wears like out. So I guess I'm just going to give them to her, because what am I going to do? Throw them out? Like they were expensive, you know? So I went to review. The seller kept pestering me for a review, which surprised me because like, you know, so I was very nice and I was very honest. I said the quality of the material is great. The seller is very communicative, and the shipping was very quickly, but I said be very mindful of the sizes because they do run very big. And within 5 minutes I had an email from the seller. We'd like to offer you a 30% refund or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And they did. But then they're like, but we need you to update your review. And I was like, but my reviews, like, I didn't say anything that wasn't true in the review. Like I said, your stuff is really high quality, but your sizing is big. Like people need to know that. And so I updated it and I kept all that in there. And I just said, after explaining the situation to the seller, they did refund me a portion of what I spent for it, but still be mindful of the sizes, you know? And she's like, this is, you know, I forget how they talked about their business, but basically like we're first time business owners and like we're trying to get up off the ground and we lose money on all this stuff. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry for that, but like I gave you a really fair, and I did increase the stars. I gave them 5 stars. I just said be mindful of the sizes. So that was a whole thing. It was really almost bordering on harassment. Like she would not stop messaging me, and I was like, lady, you need to chill out. Like stop messaging me. So Kimmy is my nurse. Yeah. I ordered a chef's coat from Temu XL, and it was maybe an oversized medium. I have not ordered from Temu ever. I've heard really mixed things. But I'm not surprised. I really am not, because I feel like our sizing in America is always way different than other countries, because we're like kind of, you know, we have a lot of, I don't know, obesity in our country. So that's what I got for my sister, was those 2 custom sweatshirts and the 2 Sephora gift sets. Where's my note thingy? So yeah, like I said, I'm done Christmas shopping. I kind of wanted to get my dad another book, but I don't know what he's read and what he hasn't, because he doesn't keep books. He reads them and then he donates them. So I went shopping yesterday for me because I wanted a new purse very, very badly. I have not gotten a new purse since, I feel like it was after Christmas. No, maybe it was, I don't know. I was on the phone with you, Morrison, when I got that purse. It was in Michael Kors, but it was last winter sometime. So I went to this local consignment store that we have, which carries like your lower end designer, like Michael Kors, Kate Spade, Coach. And then they have like some Gucci, Prada. They had quite a bit of Louis Vuitton. They had some vintage Chanel, Burberry, stuff like that. I didn't find anything in there that I loved. So I ended up going to the mall and I didn't find anything. And I, like, back in the day, I would have gotten a purse just to get one because I wanted one, but I didn't. I found one that I loved. It was Alphaba green and it was beautiful. It was the Brixton bag by, well, it was a teeny Brixton bag, but, who is that designer? Carl Kurt I forget his name, but anyway, Kurt Geiger, maybe? I don't know, but I didn't end up getting it. I did buy myself a new cute little wallet from Kate Spade. Look at this box, isn't it so cute? Because I was like, let me go, all my bags, like I don't ever get small bags because I don't have room to put stuff in it. So I'm like, let me get a new like skinny wallet. So I got a skinny wallet, but I didn't get a new purse. But I thought, you know what? I've got a bunch of purses that I bought when I was on the hunt for a new purse and I couldn't find any that I loved. And so back in the day, I would just get one. So the one that I'm wearing right now is that um little Coach bag, but whatever. Anyway, I remember your last purse purchase. Yeah, it's funny because I remember that when I was like, I don't want this weird brown taupey color. And they're like, oh, that color will sell out and it will never come back. And they still have that purse in several different colors, but not that one color. So, but anyway, that's about it. We tried a new Mexican restaurant tonight and it was really good. I just got a burrito, a steak burrito, and I've got like a third of it left that I'm gonna eat. It's so weird because like last week oh my God, all we did last week was make Christmas cookies. We made so many we made cutouts, pfeffernusse, holly doodles, spritz. I forgot the name of the little Christmas balls, whatever they're called. White trash mix. Like we made a bunch of different stuff and I've been eating them and I've not gotten sick once. So it's weird, like what gives me reactive hypoglycemia and what doesn't. Handmade things or homemade things are much less likely to make me sick than like store bought. So, uh, anyway, how's everybody else doing? Any of you guys that celebrate Christmas, are you done Christmas shopping or no? So I think my dad and I are actually gonna go out to dinner for Christmas Eve. I always do Christmas Eve with my dad and then Christmas Day with my mom. And so usually like we'll my dad will cook a ham and I'll go over and cook like broccoli casserole and potatoes and stuff. And we'll go to church. Well, usually I can't remember. I think we go to church first and then we eat after. I can't remember. But anyway, this year he's like, no, let's just go out. So hopefully he's gotten reservations already, but we're going to go out for dinner probably right after church. But it's going to be a really quiet Christmas this year because, like I said, my brother and his boyfriend won't be here. And somebody else who normally comes for Christmas will no longer be coming. So it's gonna be a quiet Christmas, which is okay. But I just love Christmas. I am sad about not having a Christmas tree up this year. I really am. It's funny because like my therapist was like, I think that's fine. She's like, I think if anything that can help reduce your anxiety right now is fine. But then the head of the DBT program was like, but what did he say? What did he call it? It was some skill. I can't remember, but he's basically was like, well, yeah, but you could put it up and then use your skills to like deal with the anxiety of the fire anxiety, but enjoy your time with dad. As with everything else, it doesn't last forever. My dad turned 80 this year. I treasure every moment. Yeah, I do for sure. My dad and I have a very, interesting relationship. But I always feel really bad for him on holidays because myself and his sister who lives across the country are his only living family members left. So I just always feel really bad for him on holidays. And he said to me this year, he was like, oh, do you want to go to this restaurant for Christmas dinner? And I was like, Dad, you know that I always go to mom's on Christmas Day. I was like, but we can go on Christmas Eve. So I don't know. I hope it didn't hurt his feelings, but I don't know. I did ask it's going to sound ridiculous. So update, like I still am not using any like cannabis. My anxiety is just it's not worth risking that, like, my anxiety getting worse, so that's not gonna happen anytime soon, but I did ask my primary today, I was like, "Can I, like, have a drink or 2 on Christmas or what?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "It's fine." He was like, "You might be a little bit more sedated because of the Boost bar." He's like, "But it's fine. Don't go crazy," you know? So, that was cool. So, I might have a White Claw. We'll see. I might not even feel like it, but I have been wanting to go back and see Wicked again. I know that there are places that you can watch it online, but I don't really trust any of them. I should ask Rob because Rob's watched it at home, like an HD version. And I don't think he had to download anything. But so I don't know. It's my kind of quick update. I probably won't be on too long. Um, I did another painting tonight and actually came out pretty good. It was like a view from the outside of a house inside a window with a Christmas tree, and it came out pretty well. But we realized at the very end that he uses kind of, I don't know if it was a glaze or if it was Mod Podge, but we didn't have any of that. And it's how he made the siding look like siding. So my painting's still at my mom's house, and I'm gonna go tomorrow and finish that up. And I don't think I have any more to show you that I've done since. So because we didn't really, I don't think we painted it all last week. Oh, so we did we did gingerbread houses on Sunday. And I have tried to do a gingerbread house so many times and always thrown a fit because they don't stay together. And so this year, one of the people that I watch on YouTube was like, you have to use a glue gun, a hot glue gun, instead of icing to get the house to stay together. So I was like, oh my God, duh. So we go and buy a hot glue gun and it doesn't work because by the time you get everything, like you get the piece glued and then you go to stick it together, the glue's already dry. So that didn't work. So we had to use icing and they kept falling apart and they kept falling apart. We had like at one point, we had 3 of us on one house, like holding it in place for like 15 minutes. But they ended up staying together. We got them decorated. I can actually show you the picture. Mine looks ridiculous. My fingers don't work very well in the winter with my Raynaud. So I couldn't do any of the really small. I couldn't like hold any of the really small pieces, but this is the front of my gingerbread house. And this is the top of my gingerbread house. So, whatever, it was fun. I had a good time doing it, so no, I hope not, but I shouldn't be, no more son. Um, nope. I've been staying up way too late, not intentionally, but just because, like, my anxiety is so bad at night. It's so much worse at night than it is during the day. Um, so I've not been sleeping very well. I'd like to I'd like to get a good night's sleep tonight, but that probably won't happen. The other night, my anxiety was so bad that I was gonna sleep on the couch because for some reason, I just feel safer out here on the couch. And I was like, I just had this feeling that if I slept on the couch that night, I was always gonna sleep on the couch, so I didn't. I made myself go into bed. Curfew, I don't have a curfew. I didn't actually get up today until almost 11. I mean, like I said, I stayed up really late. So what I was doing last night was I downloaded this new game on my phone. I don't even know how I found it, but I'm sitting there a month ago. It was a month ago yesterday, I think, because I got my hair done yesterday and it was the last time I got my hair done. I'm sitting in the salon while my hair is processing and I'm playing this game and my sister comes and sits next to me. She goes, "Are you playing Gossip Harbor?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh my God, I love that game." But in the last month, I've probably spent over $100 on this game, ordering like or getting gems and more energy because you don't get a lot of energy and then like you can't play it anymore. So I've spent a lot of money in the last month and I need to chill out with that. Seriously, my sister's just as bad. She like yesterday where she's like, "So how much did you spend today?" And I was like, "Oh, like $30." And she's like, "Yeah, me too." So I have to work on that. Um, I found a new like little niche of YouTube I've been watching a lot lately. There are these families with like this ridiculously exorbitant amount of kids. Like this one family has like 16 kids and they're rich. And I don't know, the kids seem really like grateful and like not bratty or anything. But I was watching their like Christmas vlogs from the last few years and everything they got for Christmas and all that stuff. So that's interesting. Actually, Joe says, I slept on the couch the last 2 nights. I just needed to change up for my bed, but anxiety is still an issue. I have gummies, but I always feel like it takes me a couple hours to wake up. Do you mean like melatonin or CBD or what? Melatonin actually is really effective for me. I know some people say it doesn't work, but it always worked really well for me when I took it. Now I never took it every night because that's not really how melatonin works. I mean, maybe for some people it does, but uh I don't have a problem falling asleep or staying asleep if it wasn't for my anxiety. It's my anxiety. Like, it's not the sleep itself, it's my anxiety not letting me go in and go to bed because I just keep having to get up and check things and check things and check things. Like, the new thing is that my refrigerator is gonna catch on fire because it's from, like, the '60s, and I'm not joking from that or about that. It's literally from, like, the '60s. And so I was reading all these forums from these electricians, and they're like, honestly, fridges made back then are a hell of a lot safer because number one, they don't use as much like of the coolant, like the chemicals. And number two, they don't have plastic. But they're like, you really need to make sure that the electrical stuff gets inspected. And so I've got like my flashlight. I'm trying to look behind my fridge and look at all like the cords and everything. And this cord, the power cord for the fridge is so fucking old that it's brown. Okay. When's the last time you saw a brown cord? And it was to the point where I was like, I was talking to my mom and my stepdad. I was like, should I just unplug it and go buy a mini fridge? You know, the thing is, I don't mind buying a new fridge, but it has to be special size because this isn't a full size. It's like a shorter fridge. And I'm moving out of here in July. And wherever I move is going to have a fridge. So I don't want to spend an arm and a leg on a new fridge when I'm not going to be able to take it with me, you know? So CBD, THC gummies, melatonin. I have to take it several nights in a row. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, I can't do any of the THC right now. I could probably do CBD, but I've tried CBD in the past and it's never really done that much for me. But I know they say with with CBD that you really have to find like the sweet spot as far as dosing goes. So I don't know. I'm glad it works for you though. I was going to bring up my sleep tonight or today to my primary and I forgot all about it, but ultimately like I could take something. Like I could take melatonin or what's that stuff that I like? The doxylamine, that's the doxylamine version of the Unisom, which puts me right out. But I won't do it because I'm afraid if I'm drugged in any type of way, if there's a fire, I won't be able to respond accordingly. So I won't take anything to help me sleep. You know, it's like I intentionally try to sleep lightly so that I can be aware of my surroundings. So that's really just like what I'm hoping the boost bar takes care of, or it just lowers it enough that I can work on it, you know? So I don't know. It's just tiring. I'm tired. It's like you want to go home. You want your home to be your safe place. You want to feel safe and comfortable and relaxed when you're at home. And I don't like I feel safer when it doesn't matter. It's not this apartment or the last, it's just where I am and like where my cats live and sleep. Like that's what I'm scared of. It's not like when I go to work or go somewhere else, my anxiety is actually much less. Um, it's just tiring to not feel safe, you know? And the frustrating part about it is knowing that a lot of like my fears are things that could happen. Sure, they could, but they're probably not going to, you know? But everywhere I look or read, somebody's house is catching on fire all around me. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Like, I'm so sorry, but I can't. I cannot hear about it. You know, being tired is no bueno. I can totally relate. Yeah. Like, the thing is, like, and I've been napping, like, again, like, I can nap because my anxiety isn't as bad during the day. The world is awake. So I feel safer. Um, what was I going to say? But that, like, being tired, not getting enough sleep is also one of the worst things with, like, trying to make sure that your emotions are regulated too. Like, when you're tired, it makes it that much harder to regulate your emotions. So, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what's gonna happen. Um, I just know that, like, I don't wanna live like this anymore. I just want a break. I just wanna feel safe. Like, I just want one night. Like, I would take one night a week where I just wasn't worried about this shit and I could just go to bed and not fall asleep on edge waiting to hear the smoke detector go off or something, you know? It's just, oh god, it's infuriating. It really is. So, I don't know. It definitely makes me a lot more, like, sympathetic toward people who have a lot of health anxiety because, like, that's how theirs manifests. Like, for me, it's all external stuff, but for those people, it's like everything within them is gonna kill them. They don't feel safe from their body, you know? And I was thinking, and those people, a lot of those people, some of those people utilize the emergency room to make them feel better, and I'm like, "Man, I wish there was, like, I don't know, I wish there was, like, a Band-Aid for me to make me feel better." But I don't know. Anyway, I think that's about it. Um, you're trying a new cookie shop. What does that mean? Cookie shop. Like an actual cookie shop? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you troubling? Are you troubling? Oh, you can't see him. He's such a little troublemaker. Oh, is it? What's in it? What's in it? I got rid of most of all of my like THC gummies and stuff because I was like, I'm not going to take them and before they expire. And the last ones that I bought are the ones that gave me a panic attack, and I was like, "I'm never taking those again." And I should have known because 'cause they're called Mystery Moon. I should have known they would give me a panic attack. I felt bad because, like, when I was hanging out with my sister the other night, she was like, "I have these gummies that are really high CBD, low THC," and I was like, "I want to, but I can't. I can't do it." Like, I'm already have heightened anxiety. I can't do it. And I felt really bad. Like, I know this is not true, but I was like, I feel like if we're not stoned, like she won't want to hang out as much because we have fun, but like we don't laugh as much when we're not. And I know that that's not true. That's in my head, but I don't know. It made me a little bit sad. Non CBD or THC, just cookies, but they're called insomnia cookies or no, or just you just eat it when you can't sleep kind of thing. I'm about to have when I get off here. I really wanted to watch Fred Claus, but that's not I think I have it on DVD, but I don't have my DVD player hooked up. That's not available on any of the free things. I'm probably gonna watch a Christmas movie or YouTube, if I'm honest, and finish the little third left of my burrito and have some Christmas cookies. Oh, the store is called Insomnia Cookies because they're open late. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. I'm just so happy that I can eat Christmas cookies this year and they're not making me sick. You guys, I haven't had Starbucks in over 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks. Do you believe it? I don't. And I'm not even craving it. I'm really not. Probably because none of the good drinks are out right now. Like when pistachio cold brew comes back out, I'm gonna let myself have one a week. Not one every day, one a week. But I have not had Starbucks in over 2 weeks. I cannot believe it. Tamale. So that's what my mom ordered tonight. I don't know what Christmas tamales are. That's what my mom ordered. I've never actually had a tamale before. So my mom couldn't eat her. She couldn't chew it. Now that's nothing against the restaurant. Ever since she came off of benzo, she's had a lot of issues with food, textures, tastes, not being able to like there's nothing wrong with her teeth. She has all of her teeth, but this is just something since coming off of benzos that food is an issue for her. I tasted hers. It was a chicken tamale, and I was kind of like, I don't know. It's interesting, but I didn't really get the hype. Um, but I wonder what Christmas tamales are. They did give us tortilla chips that were red and green, which was kind of funny. I work with a Honduran woman that's making me Christmas tamales. Oh, interesting. You know what I want? And my mom's neighbor usually makes them, and he hasn't this year because he's like 90. And my grandpa used to make them, but he's been gone for like 20 something years. Is peanut brittle. I love peanut brittle. It'd probably make me sick now. And what's the other thing around Christmas time? Peanut brittle. What was the other thing? Oh, baklava. Oh my God. I love baklava. It's one of my favorites. It's a Latin Central American thing. They all make tamales this time of year. Honduran tamales are way better. That really interesting. I don't think we have any Honduran restaurants, to be honest with you. I really don't. You guys, I went to get my eyebrows done today because I got my nails done last week, and I went to a place that I don't normally go to because I had a gift certificate. So I normally get my eyebrows done where I get my nails done because they're really good at them there. So I went in today before my doctor's appointment, and I was like, "Can you just do my eyebrows?" And I got somebody that I don't normally get. And I literally, like, my left eyebrow looks completely normal and my right eyebrow looks like a half moon. Like, they don't even look like cousins. Like, crazy, crazy. They're not penciled in. They'll look better when I pencil them in, but oh my lord. Um, Slow-mo, I dated a Honduran gal and her aunt's mother taught me how to make them. They were awesome. Oh, wow. I don't know how to make anything. I don't know how to make any kind of Mexican food. I do know how to make quite a bit of Asian food because I love Asian food, like love, love, love it. I do like Mexican food, but it's a newer thing that I like. Like I've only liked it for the last couple of years. I only had authentic Mexican food like within the last couple of years. So, um, oh, oh God, you guys are making me hungry. I'm excited that I have stuff to eat. My stepdad made this thing on Sunday night. It's actually what I had for my birthday because I love it. It's supposed to be it's like a garlic chicken scampi. We used to always make the Olive Garden recipe one with, like, the bell peppers, but it never comes out quite right. Like, it's not doesn't have a ton of flavor. So, one day, I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw this recipe and I didn't say anything about it, but I was like, "Oh god, that looks good." And then the next day, my stepdad texts me and he goes, "Your mom found this recipe on Facebook last night and I'm making it tonight." And it was that recipe. It was like the garlic chicken scampi. And he knows that I like dark meat chicken and everybody else likes white meat, but he does a mix of white and dark meat chicken. And it's like it's literally just like garlic scampi. But oh my God, it is so good. We had it Sunday. I brought leftovers home, and my entire just from the leftovers I brought home, I felt like my entire apartment smelled like garlic. My purse and my coat smelled like garlic from being at my mom's when he was cooking it. It's crazy. It was so good though. That's awesome, Joe. I'm super stoked for Christmas tamales. The Honduran tamales, they use banana leaves instead of corn husks. Oh, interesting. And they put them in green olives. Oh, I don't like olives. And the masa is not nearly as thick. Yeah, I think it was the masa that my mom had difficulty chewing tonight. Um, if I'm not mistaken about what it is, which is a possibility. We always do on Christmas Day. Like my mom always does stuffed shells Christmas Eve, but I don't eat there on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, we always have prime rib. Oh my gosh, I love prime rib. So good with asparagus, roasted carrots, and mashed potatoes. Like that's always Christmas dinner. One year, I would like to have a goose, but maybe on Thanksgiving rather than Christmas. I'm not sure. You can omit the olives. Yeah, I do not like olives. You know what? I shouldn't say that because I haven't tried an olive in years and years. When I was a kid, I'm pretty sure I used to eat, it must have been black olives with my dad all the time, but I don't like olives. Tonight, my sister, I don't, so she got a fried burrito, and there must have been something else that came with hers. I don't know what it was because I was like, what is all that stuff? But all of a sudden, she's eating and she goes, oh, and I said, what? And she goes, there's shrimp in here. And I was like, you don't like shrimp? And she's like, oh, I hate shellfish. So I got her four shrimp that she had in there. And oh, those were the whole best part of the entire meal tonight was her four little shrimp. They were so good. Wow, it's already been almost an hour. I think I'm gonna actually wind this down because all this talk about food, and I am now very hungry. And I'm gonna eat the rest of my Mexican food and relax for a little bit. Um, I don't imagine that I'll probably live stream again before Christmas. I probably won't live stream next week at all. Um, so we'll see. Maybe the following week. But I hope that everybody has a really good Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, if you don't, I hope you have a good week, a good day. Um, so yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. Oh my God. I don't think you're supposed to type that word. Morrison, you're gonna get me in trouble. No, I don't want to see it because it's gonna make me want. Well, that's not true because I do have cookies that I can eat. But okay, this cat's going crazy. I gotta get off of here. It was really good to see you, Kimmy. I'm glad you were figuring some stuff out. I can't see your emoji, but I see hands yellow, heart red. No, you're good. You're good. All right. Everybody have a good night and hopefully we will talk soon. So Bentley is like freaking out in the kitchen. I gotta go attend to him. Night.